Hello everybody, welcome back. I am Joe Nally. This is the rehearsal video for Simple Gifts, the fourth movement of Frank Ticheli's Shaker songs. We are all here because we knew and made music with Matt Elke, and we are doing this project as a tribute to him in his memory. And the programming of it comes directly from music that he loved. Stars and Stripes Forever, his favorite march to do with the Chesapeake Concert Band, and Simple Gifts, a melody, a ditty that he used to warm up whenever he pulled out an instrument. The Simple Gifts tune, "'Tis the gift to be simple, 'tis the gift to be free, 'tis the gift to come down where we ought to be, and when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning, we come round right." It's music is a simple gift. We are simple gifts for each other. In these times, never has that been more clear. When we can't be together, when we can't make music, that it is the simple gifts of life that make it worth living. So we all are missing Matt, I know, and he was a gift to us all. So with that said about the programming, let's dive in. Real quick roadmap work for us here. So we are in 2 cut time. We are in 2. There are a couple points in the cut time sections where we slow down retardando, and those I will do in 4. So for example, measure 10, measure 29. You should all have your pencils, by the way. Here we go. Let's go. Measure 10 and measure 29, I will subdivide that 2 by doing a 4. To slow us down, I will give a cutoff and then back in to the odd tempo. Okay? And then at 45, we are in 4. For real, 4/4. And then at 61, after holding, at 61, we are back into our 2. Okay, so the next roadmap is measure 98. I will subdivide in 4 again in measure 98. So that molto ritardando, it doesn't really dramatically pull back until kind of measure 98. And I will go ahead and subdivide that for us, and then back into 2 in 99. And then finally, the coda, measure 103. I will switch into 4 just to help us continue to slow down in a measured fashion. So in 103, I will be in 4. So I think those are all the major roadmap points for us. Not as complicated as some of the others that we've done. Let's go ahead and get started. So to begin with, we will again do an ensemble clap to get into this piece. I want to rehearse that real quick just so we know. That is to give me a sync point for when I am matching up audio and video. It's very, it saves me hours, let me tell you. And also, it gives us a time to make sure that we're in tempo. We know what's coming up. And also, just as a note here, it is incredibly important when you're doing these recordings that you do stay in sync with the music that you're hearing, if we're doing it to a music backing, or the click track for our first Simple Gifts, the Appalachian Spring version. If you're off sync, I will likely have to cut it out. I will likely have to snip you out right there, okay? So, if it's a wrong note, if it's a blown dynamic, something like that, don't stress it too much. But if you're off, you got to stop and redo it, okay? Hopefully that's clear. But anyway, let's stay on top of it. Here we are at the top to rehearse our ensemble clap. It is the exact same procedure. We have an 8 count, then a clap, and then 2 more 8 counts before our first full measure. Now, there is a pickup. So that pickup will come in on beat 8. If you play the pickup, clarinets, I'm looking at you. Everyone else, at the end of the 8 is our first full measure, measure 1. Okay, let's go ahead and give that a rehearse here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. Let's try that again. Here we are. Complications. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Clap. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pick up. Trumpet. Okay, we're going to stop right there. Let's do that one more time, starting from the count in. Just a quick note here. So we do get a little bit of introduction from the clarinets here. Follow your dynamics, please. Trumpets come in. I want all trumpets, trumpet 1, to record solos. Just in general, folks, if there are multiple people on a part, record all solos, record all one player only. I will drop off things in the mix, okay? But I want to point this out real quick before we get in here. This melody differs from what we're used to Appalachian Spring. It has a full measure of repeating notes. I want every time that happens for those notes to do something. They don't just sit there. They will crescendo. So listen to the trumpets, okay? Because you're all going to have this at some point in time. Anytime you have this melody, you're going to have it. So one more time through the clap, and then listen to the trumpets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Clap. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pick up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Trumpets. Here it is. Da, 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 da. Off. 13. Trumpets. And stop. Okay. So this is a, Ticheli's version here is 5 statements of the Simple Gifts melody. There's Simple Gifts has an A and a B phrase, right? So this is 5 statements of that complete A and B, plus an introduction and a coda. That's it. It is very, very straightforward. So we get from our trumpets a very legato initial statement of the melody for the A phrase. And then at 13, we have this kind of staggered pops as the dance melody comes in at 13. That's the B phrase. Okay, so we're going to play this from the top one more time. When we get to 13, I want you to hear the staggered entrances and these forte pianos that occur each measure, because that is a motif that he carries in to later treatments of this melody. So it's really important that we hear that pop, pop when we get to 13. So here's the top. Measure 1. Trumpet. 5. Grow, 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 grow. And a 1, 2, 3. Off. And pop it, pop it, pop it. Shh. Trumpets. Here's more pops. Pop. Pop. Shh. Legato. 24. Grow and grow and grow. Off. Pops. Euphonium. Shh. Modulation. Pick up and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. We're going to stop there. There we go. So getting into 45, that is 2 complete statements of the Simple Gifts theme, the A and B of the Simple Gifts theme, right? And it's pretty straightforward. I really like what I'm hearing. You're all playing so beautifully. I want to go back to this. We've kind of worked through the first statement a little bit. Just a quick note style-wise, and then we'll go back to 13. Style-wise, this melody, unless it is legato, slurred, unless it is a fully slurred version of the melody, the eighth notes are short, but the quarter notes are connected. They are articulated, but they're connected. So it's kind of this legato bounce to the melody. All right, it never goes into da 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 da. We never hear anything like that. We always hear bum bum ba ba da ba ba bum ba dum ba ba bum 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 ba da bum ba dum. All right, so we always hear things full value, except that the eighth notes are bouncy. That is style-wise what you're going for throughout this piece. Okay, so here's 13. Yep. Here's 13, the B statement, first time, bounce. Shh, trumpets. Bounce it. 24, bouncy. Do something. Da 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 da. 1, 2, 3. Off. Euphonium. Here's your chorale. Okay, that's the same place we stopped last time. So there is one quick note for you. At 32, if you are playing whole notes, and that is all the flutes and clarinet, 1, that is the altos, tenors, that is the not alto 2, not tenor. If you are holding your whole note into measure 33, I want you to cut off that half note. Okay, so in measure 32, the flutes, the oboes, and the clarinet 1, and the alto 1, you all should have a whole note and then off. Okay, it gets really muddy if it leans over, and what you're hearing is you're hearing a cutoff right on the downbeat of the measure after 32. So you're hearing different from what is in your music, and I'm not quite sure who's playing what version, but I like it cut off, so we're going to get rid of it at 32 so that we have this alternation between high people and low people. Here's 32 to listen to one more. 32 to listen to. Here we go. Down. High people, low. High people, low. High. And. Good. Okay. All right. So a few notes there. Euphonium, your part going into that ritardando after 32 in measure 39. That is a very important part there. Actually, let's go back to 24. Sorry about that. Let's go back to 24. So we are here in the second statement, and what is different this time? We have a more full woodwind sound, but we also have our first counter melody. Who gets the counter melody, you ask? Who else? The horns. So horns, you have a wonderful counter melody here. Play it out. And then when we get to 32, this is the bell tones. Our trumpets are playing a fanfare here. Okay, trumpets, you're in thirds at times. Trumpet 1 and trumpet 2, important fanfare, bring it out. And then euphonium, you get this beautiful part to lead us into the modulation. Make sure that rings out in measure 39. Okay? And one other note, we're going to do this one more time, but going into 45, you cannot breathe. No breathing allowed going into 45. So if you're clarinet 1, you are the only one who really needs to catch a breath there. Do it before your half note in measure 44. If you are anyone else who has a whole note or a dotted half in measure 45, breathe after that first note in measure 45. Those are the people playing the counter melody in the chorale, and that is a natural break point for you to take a breath right before your beat 4 or your beat 1 of measure 46. Everyone else, the altos, the tuba, you're coming in off of a rest or a pickup, so you don't have to worry about the breath there. So let's grab this one more time at 32, just so you can hear that holding into 45, diminuendoing, but holding into the 45. And then, wow, what a beautiful chorale at 45. So here is 32, one more time, I believe. Euphonium. Don't breathe here. Don't breathe here. Kind of a solo version of the staggered, but no pops there. Chorale, brass. Trumpets play out here. Great. And that's another point there before 61. Those people holding over, obviously you cannot breathe. Okay, so that's fairly straightforward all throughout this, I think. There is a ton of breathing and style notes that I have in my part. It's really, really important that you follow your dynamics, and that also you never are going to breathe at this. If you're playing an accompaniment part, you never breathe at the melodic break points. All these phrases carry over. There are very, very few actual full phrase breaks. So you need to know when you're playing, am I melody? Am I accompaniment? Am I counter melody? The counter melody will almost always be moving when the melody is staying still, and vice versa. The accompaniment, it gets a little bit trickier. So you need to be listening, playing an accompaniment part, and know what the melody is doing so you don't accidentally breathe at the same point. Okay? That's just a general rule of thumb, and why this kind of listening exercise is helpful to us. So we're going to play through at 45 one more time, because this is a chorale, and so often in these chorale parts we don't get phrase markings, we get these little snippets of slurred passages or something, but we don't know where to breathe. So I'm going to basically tell you where not to breathe, and then you can find your way from that. So here is 45. Pick up into 45. Again, we are all holding over in to 45. If you have the pickup, you're grabbing a breath before the pickup. Here we are, pick up into. Counter melody. Counter melody, breathe here. Not here. Okay, stop right there. One more time. Melody folks, I'm going to talk to you now. Melody folk, these are big long phrases. You, however, are allowed to breathe in the natural point. As long as it's a 4-measure phrase, you can do that, okay? 4-measure phrases, please, melodies. Melody people, here we go. Pick up into 45. Grow, grow, grow melody. Breathe here. Don't breathe here. Don't breathe. No one can breathe there. Breathe here. Great. Okay. So you see that there are a couple of points where we cannot breathe. All right. One more time through this so that we can all diminuendo at 53, except for those solo parts that are coming out, that are passing around this dance fragment, okay? And it's gentle. It's not popped like it was earlier. It's gentle, super melodic. And then we have the fantastic full brass and low reed chorale return. So this is, I call this the fragmenting reverie. We're remembering earlier treatments in a slower tempo here when we get to 53. So here's 45 one last time. Counter melody. Don't breathe here, counter melody. Don't breathe here. Now you can breathe. Don't breathe. No one breathe here. There we go. Breathe there if you're bass. Shh. Reverie. Brass chorale. Trumpets stick out. Trumpets. Trumpets. And slowing down. Stopping there. Great. So I love this section. I love the chorale. I love the chorale, and I love this section. I love this section because I think it is the most textural treatment of this that we've had, the most concert band-esque treatment that we've had. He varies the melody. He brings in the kind of the echoed counter melody, where the counter melody is actually just another statement of the melody that Copland did. He kind of echoes that treatment here, but it's very textural in the upper woodwinds. Okay, and so at 61, we are back in 2, and we have this pulsing feel, very legato. Bum, 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 bum. Not broken up at all, just pulsing the beat. Make sure you do that because it changes at 71, right? At 71, then we're into marcato here. Da, 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 da. Every beat is equal here at 71. We don't feel a big 1. We feel a big 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, in the 2. at 71, and then following 71 and 75, we're back into this bum, bum, pulsing 2. All right, so that is kind of our triptych here from 61 up to 79. This is our 4th statement of the melody, and I love it. So, and if you are playing melody here, these are these big, long, flowing melodic fragments that cannot be broken in the middle. All right, and each of them is shaped just as naturally as you'd think it should be. Ba-da, ba-da, ba-da-da, ba-ba-da-da, ba-ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, bum, bum, bum. I think I sang the counter melody. Anyway, 61. Here we go. Let's hear it again. Stop. Great. So that trumpet echo is the coolest thing of this. Each time we're in the legato section, we have the main statement of this flowing melody, and then at the end we have a trumpet echo, okay, that picks it up. Very important. Let's listen to this one more time. Make sure you hear these long melodic phrases, and make sure you hear the trumpet echo. And when we get to 71, we hear that marcato coming through in the part. All right? One more time from 61. Melody. Don't breathe there. Here's trumpets. Shh. Everyone. Marcato. And back down. Good. Okay, that's a tough page turn for me. All right, so you've got it through 79. We're going to start at 79 now. So at 79, we still have this textural stuff going on. It has changed. Now we can almost feel the one. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum. So make sure you lean in and then taper, lean in and then taper each measure of that figure at 79. If you have the melody, we are back to our full bouncy articulated version of the melody. So he's bringing them both together here. And 79 is the 5th statement of Simple Gifts, the finale of this piece. So he's bringing the textural accompaniment in with the original melodic statement. We need to hear those two things coming together. So here we are at 79. Shortly. There we are, 79. Trumpets. Da, da, da. Grow to N. We're going to get there, I promise. I promise. All right, here, back to 79 one more time. Just to point out that the accompaniment, this is one of those parts where the accompaniment needs to know what the melody's doing, because you cannot breathe after your half note in measure 82. Okay? Accompaniment figure. Ba-da-da-dum, 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 ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-da. See, I wanted to do it. You cannot grab it somewhere else, not after your half note. And then in measure 86, we all have the same, almost it's almost a marcato feel there. He doesn't break it out, but it is for the people playing the accompaniment. Measure 86 is where we do not have slurred parts. Okay, he wants those defined. That is a full tutti, full ensemble. Dun dun dun, and then we're back to our longer held notes. Okay, so bring those out, almost marcato them, almost accent them. But just a little bit separated when we get to measure 86. If you are, and we can all breathe prior to 86. So at the end of 85, we can take a full ensemble breath there. If you have pickups, if you have the eighth notes at the end of 85, you're a pickup into 86. Grab breath before those pickups. Okay, and then make sure we taper measure 88, which is 2 before 90. Taper that down. Shh. I know that we're at a mezzo forte here, but we got to have somewhere to go. So bring it down just a little bit in that measure 88 so that we can crescendo in measure 89. And that full breath, full ensemble breath in measure 89 will be on the and of 2. 1 and 2 and 1. Okay? We'll all grab that together before our ensemble downbeat at 90. So here we go. One more time through 79. Hear the long 8-measure phrase in the accompaniment. Don't breathe here. And marcato. Grow and. Breathe. Molto ret. All right, so it's a beautiful ending. It almost seems to accelerate, and then wow, we're done. It's really a sudden coda, bringing this to a final to a close. So I want to look real quick at 90. Let's go ahead and play through 90 to the end one more time, just to give you all another shot at the molto ritardando, which, as I said, doesn't dramatically pull back until the measure before 99, where I switch into 4. And then at 99, we have the coda, and the coda is built on the kind of staggered pops, right? Bum, 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 bum. And then it slows down and goes halftime, and that's how he finishes that little fragment that he's played with so much through this piece is the coda material as well. So here we are at let's get into 90. So we're going to do 79 to the end one more time, just so you can get that breath before 90 and the molto ritardando, and then close the piece out. Here we are. 79, the big feel of 1 here, big 1. And ensemble. 2 and. Breathe. Okay, so that's a pretty quick, considering the amount of notes that I had in there, I maybe talked about 40 to 50% of them. So you are all musicians. Use your accumulated years of musical experience to make something out of your part, and to do it with an understanding of what else is going on as you listen to this piece. It's really well done. I mean, you can hear a lot of Shenandoah in there. It's a little bit less varied in texture and in instrumentation groupings than Shenandoah is. But boy, it takes a simple melody, it makes it sparkle, gives it new life. And so I do think that it is referencing Copland at times, but it is not rehashing the same ways that Copland put together his versions, his variations on the Simple Gift melody. So I hope you've enjoyed. I really do hope you've enjoyed the project. I hope that I can do you all justice in the final mix and the final video presentation of all this. It has been a long road for me getting these videos put together, and doing the prep work needed to not waste a half an hour of your time with the video. There will be a conducting video for this, which is me conducting to what you have just heard, and trying to show you a little bit of what we talked about without being too distractible in my conducting. I try to be a little more straightforward when I do the video that you use to record to. So make sure you've marked up your parts, please. Do the things that I asked. Don't breathe where I've asked you to hold over, style-wise. Know the roadmap going in. That way you can do fewer takes and save you a little bit of time there. Thank you for being a part of this project, everyone. I have enjoyed my part in this, and I will hopefully get to be in front of you again in person sometime in the continues to fall back, I think, time frame. But for the now, we can do this, and hope, maybe we'll do some more. Maybe we'll do a holiday tune. I don't know. But let me know what you'd like to see. Let me know how I can improve. And please get in touch with any questions in the recording process. Email. I'll take phone calls. We can do video chat. I can help you troubleshoot things. There's a ton of different ways that I can help you figure this stuff out. And then once you've got it, once you're past the learning curve, pedal to the metal, right? So dive in, and thanks again to all of Matt's virtual players.